Hi, this is Danny Ryan, and welcome to the Three Wheel Podcast. Today, I've got Bo George here with me, bro. I've got Bro George here with me. That's going to be your
like
new
that,
nickname,
yeah.
Bro George. Bro is a principal consultant for us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
And my son, he's of that age right now where he would say, bruh.
Bruh. You'll have to tell him your new nickname. I'm sure he will love hearing that. So, Bro George, tell me, as a principal consultant, what's a normal day for you? Assuming you have a normal day.
Well, it'll vary based on the projects I'm on. So lately, I'm in more of a Scrum Master than a Dev Lead role. So my typical day involves a lot of email, a lot of coordinating people, a lot of kind of watching tasks and watching our timeline and our velocity and making sure we're getting things done. So it's Taskmaster these days. So
it's Mr. Taskmaster. So tell me, while you're not mastering tasks, what do you like to do outside of work?
So outside of work, typical weekend or the things we do on the weekend are, fortunately, we live in Columbus, Georgia. There's a lot of restaurants, so we always seem to find somewhere to eat.
Nice.
Which is bad, but good.
Do you have a favorite restaurant that you and Beth go to?
Yeah, Saturday night we were pining for a place called Black Cow, which has like the best steak in Columbus. So that's where we were trying to go, but that's not where we ended up. We ended up at like a Japanese steakhouse kind of place. So not a bad option, but yeah. And then other things we do, we watch a lot of movies and stuff on Netflix. As much as I can get Beth outdoors, I try to get us outdoors. We haven't done it in quite a while, but I love camping,
nice.
Stuff like that. So it's getting a little late in the year to try that out now, but maybe in the spring I can talk her into going again.
So with the, you mentioned Netflix. Are you a binge watcher, or are you a one-off?
We sometimes we were early on. We were binge watchers, but now we actually try to make seasons last a little bit. So our routine at night is usually we'll go to bed about 10 and watch an episode of something until we run its course, and then we move on to the next thing. So lately it's Luther, but we watch Rectify and just anything. They have really good algorithms for recommending stuff, so we'll try that stuff out.
What's Luther?
Luther is something from the BBC, and I'll butcher his name, Idiria something. I can't think of his last name, but he's the lead in a detective kind of show. Good, interesting,
So detective stories.
Yeah. I end up on a lot of BBC stuff. I don't know how that happens, but even Top Gear and things like that. So
Nice. So do you watch it as a family, or is it just you and Beth?
Just me and Beth.
Yeah.
My son's of the generation that everything he watches comes through YouTube. So of course, when YouTube Red came out, he's on that right away. So
So he signed up for YouTube Red.
Yeah, so he can download his videos and everything he refers to. Like when we were a kid, it was my cartoon or my show. His is my YouTuber this, my YouTuber that. That's how he refers to his entertainers now.
What grade is he in now?
6th.
Wow.
So.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing. That is amazing. How quickly they grow up.
Yep.
So so you mentioned some TV series. Any favorite movies that you guys have that you keep coming back to at all?
Favorite movie of all time, probably without a doubt, is Shawshank Redemption. Just like the story there. So that one's, anytime it comes on, I kind of just stop and watch it for the 10,000th time.
And it's on pretty often. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you see it in the top 10 or whatever of all time movies often. So.
Would Beth agree with that, or did she have a different guess?
No. She's a reality.
I'm going to start asking you questions. What would Beth? This is like the honeymoon show, or the
get me into trouble.
Show.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you and Beth meet? Oh, forget that.
Yeah, that one already passed. Yeah, that one I got a little grief for a long time ago. But yeah, no, we find a lot of shows we agree on, or movies and stuff like that. But mine tend to be the guy things, and hers, of course, are the chick flicks or whatever. So.
Nice. Do you guys any favorite books, or do you have time to read? Do you find yourself reading just for pleasure?
I listen to books for pleasure. So Audible's one of my favorite apps. On my trips up here to the office from Columbus, I listen to it regularly. I find that I don't even pay attention to the drive when I'm really engrossed in a book. So one of my favorites recently was The Martian, which we also went to the theater to see. That one was good.
It was a great movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like that one.
It's like, how can they make you're like, where are they going to go with this story?
And
it was a long movie, but I was still engrossed by it the whole time.
Yeah, and I kept thinking, man, they left out that part. But then I was thinking, well, we'd be in the theater for 13 hours if they kept everything in there. So,
which did you enjoy more, the movie or the book?
I like the book. I think part of it is you get more time with a book. So there's just more enjoyment there. And in a movie, you're trying to fit that 2-hour window of let's entertain people in 2 hours, hit the high points and stuff like that. And sometimes hitting the low points helps raise the high points, and that's what you get with a book, I think, a lot of times. So
very nice, very nice. Well, last time when I asked Brandon about what books he likes, him being from Phoenix City, Alabama, right across the river. You see, he had the response of, I don't read books. I said, you're not helping Alabama at all.
If I was really being hard, I might say it's an Auburn thing too. But,
oh, ouch, burn.
Yeah, Caroline started with me this morning about Auburn and Georgia, so.
So if folks don't know, there is we have a pretty good representation of different schools here, but there's quite a few Auburn folks here that every once in a while they start.
Yeah, it's almost disproportionate, how many here are from Auburn versus.
I don't know what happened there.
The Tech guys and stuff.
Whereas Tommy went to Clemson and I went to Georgia Tech, so it's not coming from us. It's coming from other folks. So tell me, as far as phone choice, what do you carry?
I'm an Android guy. I don't think I haven't personally owned an iPhone, so I've been Android the whole time. Mm-hmm. My wife had an iPhone, my son. I thought they were both pretty cool, but I've just stuck with Android for the ability to customize. I always felt like it was stronger there. It reminded me a lot of why Windows took off with multiple vendors, multiple platforms, and sort of an openness to build upon.
Yeah.
I think iPhone is great because you get solid quality for it all being kind of owned by them too. So there's merits there, and we are I don't know what you call it when you're a PC and a Mac and an iPad household. We're a
mixed house.
a multi-device generational household. So yeah, we've got Macs, Androids, PCs, everything. And I'm a huge fan of the MacBook that we have at home too. So.
Nice. And so what type of device are you carrying right now?
Note 4.
Okay.
Bigger screen the better, except for it hardly fits in your pocket sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I like the Note 4. I use the stylus a bit too.
Oh, really?
Especially in meetings, I carry around a behemoth of a laptop that the battery will die on sometimes, or is just a pain to keep out. So I've found myself in at least a few customer meetings where I'll just pull out the pen and jot down notes, and stuff like OneNote and Evernote are great for that stuff. So.
You have a favorite app that you use?
Favorite app? I don't know. I would say depends on the time of the year. So
yeah.
Right now, college football team season, I'm in Score all the time.
Do you do the fantasy football stuff?
No, I won't bet on it because I'm always wrong about about that kind of stuff. And I see those guys are getting quite a bit of grief lately, which I don't pay enough attention to know what's going on, but I know that anything that seems too good to be true usually is, and their commercials are, I bet $1 I won 10 million, and I'm like, yeah, something about that doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. What other apps? I'm sorry, I cut you off. What other apps?
I use Yammer and Facebook a lot because, of course, we're a social organization and social people, and Instagram for my news. Flipboard, huge fan of that.
Really?
For consuming news. So yeah, and then of course Audible and Kindle. Kindle's where I do my technical reading. So like I've got the SharePoint books there typically.
Can you get those for free? Or do you have to pay for those?
I usually pay for them, but they're typically cheaper than the hardback. And I remember the days of carrying around several hardback books and how much that weighed. And it's just awesome to, be able to open up your phone or your tablet and have all your technical books right there to kind of go through.
And we reimburse you for those, right?
Yeah.
Please
yeah.
tell me. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So and
we do have an allowance for that. So.
Yeah. Just recently, I bought the SharePoint Essentials 2013 book, which I bought the 2007 one before, because I find it's a good one to go back to pretty often.
So when a customer asks you a question, you say, just hold on 1 minute.
I know that's chapter 11. Hold on.
Chapter 11. Just a second here. I've got a code example here. I can help you out.
Yep. So I love that.
Awesome. Well, one last question is my self-serving question, which is assuming you like working at Three Wheel, which you've been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You were here and then you went away and then you came back and you're never leaving again.
Yeah. Well,
you're never leaving again. How does that make you feel?
It's all right. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. So yeah, I left. So my story is a little bit different. So I moved to Atlanta, found the lifestyle in Atlanta to not be fitting for somebody who likes to be a little more of a small town. So
what are you saying about us, Atlanta?
I'm saying the traffic is horrible. You have to live like less than a mile from the office to not be stuck in something gridlock.
Yes,
so
I understand.
So the only reason I left Three Wheel was really to get back to living in Columbus, a smaller town. My wife's family's there. My family's there for the most part. But I did come back and I brought two people.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
So I guess I've been back. I think March will be 6 years, if that's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I love working at Three Wheel. I love the pace, the flexibility, the ability to choose for yourself. A lot of organizations are very top down, very rigid, and I find in Three Wheel that if a decision makes sense, if you provide the right information, things can change. So you feel pretty empowered here.
Awesome.
And then, of course, we're always challenged. Being a small company, you have to cover a lot of bases, do a lot of different things, so you're not just the guy that knows how to work the widget in the SharePoint farm or whatever, right? Like I said, I'm Scrum Master right now. My next project, I might be the dev lead and actually like heads down writing code and stuff like that. And then the next project, I might be doing a migration, and then the one after that could be completely custom solution. So we get exposed to a lot, which keeps you interested in your job.
Yes.
The book I'm listening to now, Outliers, mentions that the main thing is that you feel fulfilled in your job to make you happy.
You feel fulfilled.
I feel fulfilled.
That is awesome. Let's end on that positive note. We're so happy you're here with us, Bo, and I hear nothing but positive things about you and what you're doing on projects. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for listening, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.